So this setup is pretty basic. We are running one video ad and we are taking the educational angle. So instead of competing with everybody else that is running those discount ads starting at 500, yada yada yada, we are trying to put our client as an authority in the space by educating people why it's important to protect the vehicle, what is the ceramic coating, and giving them a relatable comment like the sunscreen for your skin. Now, if anybody comes off this ad and books a in-person consultation, they will also get a free interior detail, which is already included, but they don't know about it. Let me show you the actual ad. Yeah, so it just sells itself. I mean, you'll not find any cheap people shopping around after they see a bunch of Ferraris, Rolls Royces and Porsches. So know your target audience. As for the form, well, actually before the form I'll show you the pixel. So Facebook will be as good as you report back to it. So it's very important that whenever you use GoHighLevel, tell it what happened with this lead. Was it just, a normal lead from form? Did they submit a survey? Did they schedule? Were they sold? And every piece of information that you send it to, you will have a much better targeting at the end of the day, because you might have gotten 10 leads, but if 2 of those turn into sales and you shoot it back, then Facebook will look at those 2 and try and show it to more people like that. I would also recommend just using all of those UTMs so you are able to pinpoint which ad generated you the most sales. Now, on every form, I'm asking them what is their goal, how soon do they want to get that stuff done, and what is the budget, what do they care about the most. So, as you can see in here, when choosing a detailer, and then anybody that does not pick the best detailer, or I care about the quality, but price is important, will just not make it to the end of the form. We will be removing anybody that clicks this one and this one. We don't want Facebook to show our ads to price strippers or just cheap people. It makes no sense. Next up, we've got what services are you looking for? That's self-explanatory. And then, depending on your industry, I will remove people that are shopping a month in advance, but in this case I'm leaving it on because if we are targeting new vehicle owners, a lot of the times they just didn't have the car delivered yet. So, removing them makes no sense to me. Now this part, this is auto-filled. However, if you notice that a lot of your leads are fake, or the phone numbers don't work, or they just don't pick up, scratch that phone number and email and put that as manual questions right here, and that should increase your quality. Now, at the very end, always make sure to stop that person before leaving and clicking off, because you can still drag them, down in the funnel. So, for example, in this, I can tell them, if you schedule in-person consultation with us, you will get a complimentary detail. Now, set aside the fact that the detail is included in the service, but it gives them another incentive to move themselves lower and lower in the funnel. So this will be a much more motivated lead if they press schedule. Now, anybody that pressed the 2 buttons, which were I'm looking around for quotes or I'm just looking for the cheapest deal, will have a chance to schedule themselves in as well. But the difference is, if you set it up like this, they will not be recommended to Facebook. So you will still get the lead, but you just don't pay for it. And this is pretty important. Now, let me show you what the actual CRM looks like. So as you can see, quite a lot of leads, but we've won 26. So that £1,200 ended up generating a bit above £20,000. And as you can see, we're getting pretty good cars. Now your target audience, if you're showing them Porsches, you'll get Porsches, trust me. And then let me show you one of the conversations that we've had recently. So this is Helen, and this is going to be very cool. She's got an Audi, right? So if you want to read it, just pause it. But I've made it so when a customer has a specific car model, and I'm not talking all the models, depending on what car models my client has on the Instagram, it will send them a trigger link. Now, how cool is it that it will actually send them to a post with the car that they might have? So how easy do you think it is to sell to someone that when they first pick up the phone, they tell you, oh, I loved your page, I loved your cars, I loved your work? I'll tell you, very easy. So my client is pretty on top of things. The lead came through, 3 calls, called back, called again, and I think at this point, okay, I'll have to blur that. He's collecting $250 deposit. She's booked in for 26, and then yeah, just sending confirmations. Okay, and then looks like she was 1. Okay, balance to pay. Yeah, so that's how the structure works. Now I will go through my robot and just show you like my whole strategy, my whole process, so you can kind of copy paste it and what works, what doesn't work. So rule of the thumb, right? Whenever we are targeting people through Facebook forms, always ask them urgency, price, and goal. That way you're able to filter out most people that you don't want. And then again, if you have fake numbers, just turn off the autofill. Now, whenever they fill in that form, move them to a survey. More questions, higher cost per lead, but also easier sales. So if your client does not have time to call 50 leads, just get him 10. Ask better questions. And the more open-ended those questions are, the better the lead quality. So, for example, when we are running ads for a dealership and people want to buy cars, we are asking them, what is it specifically that you're looking for in a car? Tell us about your situation. And then we might, run into people that will tell us, oh, well, I'm actually a first-time car owner. I want this in this vehicle because of that. The more they type, the higher intent they are. Because if somebody is just clicking buttons, they will not be very motivated. But if they spend like 2 minutes typing out what exactly they want, they will pick up that phone call, trust me. Now, once they submit the survey, they are moved to an appointment page. So they will be able to pick a slot in the calendar. You offer them some sort of incentive like a voucher, limited spot, or a freebie whenever they book a call. And don't think about this as being cheap. If we had shown vouchers and limited spots and freebies in the actual ad, that would be a problem. But those people that came through the ad that I've just shown you, they don't want anything to do with those sort of stuff. They don't care about vouchers. We show the vouchers to them at a point where they already said they are hot, they were interested in the service. Now we are just shortening the sales cycle. So now, with this in mind, do not allow them to book too far in advance, unless your client is fully booked. But I stick to phone or in-person consultations within the next 2 to 3 days. Anytime after that, and the rates of them showing up, they will tank. Now, next up, videos on the landing page. So, people have a lot of trust nowadays, especially in the local business industries. So, for example, I was running ads for detailers, mobile detailers, and then recently the cost per lead started skyrocketing. I was like, what's going on? Little did I know that there was a scam going on Facebook groups where people would ask for prospects' addresses and cars, and they would go and steal those cars. So there is things that you cannot really fight, but if you had made, let's say, a video ad of your client talking to the camera and then explaining the process, the services, who they are, their values, even in constructor niche, people might be afraid that it's a crackhead coming at them to their house, right? So if you have those videos on the ad, on the landing page, you build trust. People know who is going to call them, the voice that they will hear. You know, they trust you. And last but not least, always send SMS and call reminders. So just because somebody booked a call through the landing page doesn't mean that you can just let them sit. Call them within the next 5 minutes. Introduce yourself. Tell them what are the next steps. Tell them what to look forward to. Hype them up a little bit before the appointment. Because if they see another ad from another business and those guys call them first, you just lost a prospect. Makes no sense, does it? Now, onto the leads that actually convert or they just move in the funnel. Always send that stuff back through Conversion API and GoHighLevel. So to dumb it down, you grab a token, which I can show in another video, from Facebook. You put it in GoHighLevel, and now instead of Facebook thinking that they sent you 20 leads, Facebook knows that they sent you 20 leads. 2 of those filled in, an appointment request. 5 of them submitted a survey, 3 are shit, and 5 converted. Right? So with this, the next time you want to optimize for a specific event, you already have an advantage. Now, in terms of the actual targeting, depending on how much data you have in your clients' accounts, you can go with broad, custom audiences, or interest targeting. So with interest targeting, what we do is we just scrap the most sold cars in a specific city in the last year, and that kind of gives us information on who are the new car owners driving, what are they driving. So if a Ford 1500 is the most sold car, we will use that in the creatives, we'll use that in the videos, we'll use that in the copy, because we know that it's new car owners that are driving them. In terms of custom audiences, you have few choices. So you can just use your client's website visitors from Pixel and retarget them. You can upload a customer database. So if your client has been in business for the past 2 years, just take that, upload it to Facebook, and make a lookalike audience. Now, the coolest thing of them all, third-party data providers like Oracle. So, if you ever wonder how some people get like 20x, 30x, this is exactly how they get it. So, they will have projected models on your ideal target audience. So, for example, if I want to target people with super good credit, with $100,000 household income, people in the market for something, this is exactly what you would use to get those crazy results, and put your ad in front of exactly those people and disqualify everybody else. Now, in the actual advertising, like I was saying before, you go through Facebook and Instagram. Facebook form is optional. If you care about quality, just shoot for a landing page straight. After that, move them into a survey where you ask more questions, and it's about desire, urgency, and prices. After that, to the calendar page and let them schedule themselves in. Now, when they're in the CRM, you need social proof, personalization, and it has to be easy to respond. So, like I was showing you with Helen, we've sent her those 2 in the first message. So she was sent an Audi. She has an Audi. So it's pretty personalized. It was also easy to respond. So if I go back here and scroll up, you see the way I structure those messages. I got your inquiry. Are you having this Audi? So they can say yes, no, and if they want to talk more, they will. But the point is, with this message and this one, like, are you free right now? Can we try later? You give them a way to respond with yes, no. If they're driving, if they're with friends, whatever, they can just type it. If you had asked them, like, what do you want exactly? They will just think, okay, I can reply to this guy later, I'm busy. With these type of messages, it's just yes or no. It's increased my conversions quite a lot, because not everybody's got time to chat, especially if they're at work. I mean, she came at 10 a.m., so if her boss was around, maybe she wouldn't reply. Next off, you have to be calling leads within 5 minutes, and I will show you at the very end of this video how I combat this problem when clients are not calling leads. Because if a lead is not called, the reality is if they see the next ad in the next 10 minutes and that guy calls them, well, you just lost a lead. So it's a bit pointless. Now, when you schedule in that person consultation and it's either not scheduled or it's not sold, we move them to nurturing. Then nurturing will get you most sales over the next 2-3 months, depending on the product you're selling. But we offer freebies, we provide price transparency, we teach people why it's so important to protect your vehicle, we explain why it costs so much. And I would recommend to everybody that works in the local business industries to have long-form content explaining the whole process. Just like you're watching YouTube videos and you feel confidence in different people that want to buy products from, it works the exact same for B2C leads. So let's say someone wants to, renovate a bathroom or just buy a car detail, buy a car. If you've got a 10-minute video of your client just being an actual human being, not a business owner, explaining, okay, this is what we do step by step, this is what's going to happen when you visit us, and then you listen step by step, it builds a lot of trust. And if someone ends up watching that video, you have a very high ground. They will not be haggling with you over prices. They will send you referrals. I've been there, I've done that, and it works like a charm. And for everybody that is not really, opening those, every 30 days we've got a reactivation campaign. So we send a voice message, SMS, and email. And at this point, it's up to my client to actually call them up and schedule them in. Now, for everybody that has scheduled and sold, you can go for upsells and referrals. Now, after that, it's pretty simple because you just send them to a Google review landing page, not Google page. So if they're happy with this, 4-star reviews and above, send them to Google My Business. Now, if your client wasn't as good as he thinks he was, they will be sent to a landing page with feedback form, which you just saved your client a bad review. So this is my whole process. If you've got any questions, ask in the comments. If you want me to go over any GoHighLevel automations, write it in the comments as well. And the last thing I wanted to show you is what I do when my client is not calling leads. So this is an organic lead that came in, I think 3 days ago. Now this is a dealer client. So those guys are very busy. If they're with a client, if they're on a test drive, they cannot type. And I understand. So we've trained an AI chatbot to answer any kind of questions, and it's instructed to collect the most vital pieces of info, such as down payment, household income, credit, and just book them in for an appointment. So what you all see right now is AI at its finest. So feel free to pause this and just have a read. So this guy is saying he's got 2.5 down deposit at the end of the month, down payment, 5.5 a month. Cool, he just gave us his information. Sometimes it's glitchy, but still better than nothing. And then he's scheduled in for 4 p.m. So pulls info from my client's calendar, scheduled in Wednesday. Okay, and this is a confirmation message that I think did not go through because someone didn't pay. But yeah, this is how it looks like from the back end. It's not that difficult to set up. I can definitely make a tutorial. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you soon.